So you want to dig deeper in a topic. A.C. Grayling, philosophy professor at Oxford, had this great quote where they said, somebody was saying, well, what is philosophy? And he boiled it way down into philosophy is discovering, talking about, researching what matters and what exists. So when you're doing deeper research, maybe on like media ethics or sports journalism or feminism or W.B. Du Bois, you're looking at what matters and what exists. And then when you find those things, you can have those be individual research moments that you then tie later with a philosopher, that you then tie later with another element of like what matters to what population, if that makes sense. That's another strategy. Let's dig in. So I'm going to show you a couple of advanced searches where we're looking for what matters and maybe what exists. So again, there's some that I use and some that I don't. I recommend all of those. So I'm going to go to Philosopher's Index, should it choose to open. I'm going to go to Advanced Search. And on this one, I'm going to show you narrowing options. So if I look for a single word, even if I put that word and I want it to be in the document title, so gender has to be one of the most important things about the articles in this Philosopher's Index, I'm still going to get, how many do I get? 1,800. Well, that's not too bad. That might take me like an evening to go through all of these. Way over on the left-hand side, sometimes on the right-hand side in the library catalog, sometimes in the top in the EBSCO databases, there's sorting options or narrowing options. So for example, if I don't want to go back to 1980, I could come up to our current decade. And that would narrow it down to, whoa, 301. And I could narrow down to scholarly journals. So if I only want evidence-based critical practice that's been peer-reviewed, I can do it that way. And you can go into subject and you can see all these other keywords that they have. It's interesting that for gender, just gender, that word all by itself, in the last 5 years, business ethics shows up a lot. It seems kind of like a red flag where I was just like, this might be something I want to write down and look at later. Politics obviously is going to show up. Transgender, that's going to show up. So political hot buttons. But business ethics, I hadn't thought of that one. So all of those are ways to narrow it down. Let me show you another search. So if I'm looking and I want to know about a whole bunch of different things and I don't want to know what the word is, you can put those in and put an or in between. So I'm going to do truth or accuracy or fact checking or distortion. You get the idea. Oh, I got to do fake news. Fake news or propaganda or disinformation. There might be nicknames or keywords or jargon that has added meaning to it that is, we don't know what they're going to be talking about in these databases. So what you can do, should we throw that in the title? Let's be bold and throw it in the title. So it's going to find any of these words and return the search results when you put an or in between. So 8,000. And then all of a sudden I realize, oh, truth or accuracy. Oh, that's kind of like everything. So what matters and what exists, like truth, accuracy, those might not be value added jargon that's relevant to what we're doing today because there's so many different things hanging on that. Or as a previous communication professor used to say, there's a lot of things that hitch their wagon to it. So let's go to things that just have jargon. So distortion, I don't know, that one might, I'm just looking for like recent jargon. Let's see what happens with these. So we go from 8,000 to 183. So change your keywords as you go. Some might have just like way too much stuff and not be on what you're looking for, or some might be like ultra specific and exactly what you're looking for. And again, we've got these searching options. Ooh, fascinating, goes back to 42. Propaganda, it was big in World War II. Okay, so let's move to the library catalog. Let me show you another thing. Hello. So I went to the library catalog, advanced search. If you're unfamiliar with that, library catalog, and this is the advanced search. It's one of my favorites. So on this one, I want to just find out about media ethics. So I'm going to put that in quotes. So it sticks media and ethics in the same spot when it's looking for it. I'm just going to haphazardly look everywhere for it. And there's going to be like books and textbooks. Your textbook or things that you're using in class probably show up in here. There's a lot of things to go, and you could narrow them down by the search fields. But let's add some keywords. So let's not add that keyword. You can see my previous searches that I've done for people. Sports. It narrows it down to that. Or you can narrow it down to war and articles only and publication date. I only want it to like the last 2 years. And then I also want to add media ethics, war, and I want to add rhetoric. When you're working on a search strategy, the end results you can work on, but also the structure of your search is really good to work on as well. And it might help you narrow down. So the main point, whoa, that's a little too narrow. Let's go back out 5 years. So think of it as kind of like do you know what a concertina is? It's like an accordion, but there's not as many buttons on it. You're kind of negotiating back and forth as you're negotiating and playing the music and figuring out what matters and what exists. And this is where you can find out some of those little pieces and properties of what you're looking for your bigger body of research. This has been Dale, your